Welcome, English learners, to Native Ear.
Hello, everyone.
This is the Deep Dive channel, and it's designed specifically to help you understand and, more importantly, apply essential English.
And to do it naturally in real-life situations.
Exactly. We really believe that the fastest way, the most effective way to master a new language is to hear it used clearly.
Conversationally. And then we'll analyze every single detail, very slowly and precisely.
That's our mission here. We want you to move beyond just memorizing lists of words from a textbook.
Right. We want you to start communicating with real confidence, knowing the exact right phrase to use when you need it most.
And our main topic today is, well, it's absolutely crucial for anyone who works or plans to work in an English-speaking environment.
It really is.
We are diving into a pretty high-stakes professional challenge, dealing with deadlines.
And specifically, how to ask your manager or your boss for more time when you just can't finish a project on schedule.
It's such a tricky conversation. It requires language that is professional, polite, and, effective.
It does. And using the correct words here can make the difference between looking responsible and looking disorganized.
So by listening to this entire deep dive, you're going to achieve some really clear, real-life results.
You will. You'll learn and deeply understand the specific words and the exact phrases you need.
Phrases for communicating clearly with, authority figures about delays or extensions or problems you ran into during a project.
Our goal is simple. We want to make sure you can apply this English naturally in your daily professional life without any hesitation.
We'll break down every single phrase, we'll do it slowly, and give you a clear analysis of the meaning, the correct pronunciation.
And we'll really focus on how native English speakers use these words in natural professional conversations.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever started a task that seemed simple at first?
But then it just became complicated because of some unexpected problems.
Have you ever needed to ask for an extra day, maybe two, to finish something?
Well, we are going to teach you exactly how to ask for that time.
Politely, clearly, and professionally.
Before we jump in, please do us a quick favor. Like, subscribe, and share the Native Ear channel with your family and friends.
That way they won't miss useful, maybe even life-changing lessons like this one.
And I'm Jordan, your English instructor for today. I'm here to help us analyze this vital language and guide you through this lesson step by step.
Let's get started.
Let's make sure you gain that native ear you're aiming for.
Okay, so to begin, we need to set the scene for our conversation.
Right, the context.
We're going to listen to a dialogue. It's between a boss and an employee, and her name is Casey.
Okay, and what's the situation?
Casey has been working on a really important project for her company, but she's running late.
So she knows she has to approach her boss to explain the delay and, I'm guessing, ask for an extension.
That's it, exactly. This dialogue is taken directly from, real workplace scenarios. It's very realistic.
I think so, too. It shows the immediate pressure Casey is under and the tension that comes up when expectations aren't met.
And the way she handles this pressure through language. That's what we're really focusing on today.
Okay, so what is this project she's late on?
The project is called a press kit. And this is an important background term for us to understand.
A press kit, it's maybe not a term you hear every single day, but it is very standard in the business world.
So what is it exactly?
Well, a press kit is a group of materials that a company puts together. Usually it's the marketing department or maybe the public relations department.
So it's like a complete official information package.
That's a perfect way to describe it. One complete package.
And what does the company put inside this package? What's in it?
It typically contains things like high-resolution pictures of the company leaders, maybe some product photos,
Okay.
the company logos in different sizes, and most importantly, detailed, correct information about the company's history and its mission.
So it's all the necessary material just bundled together.
Right, and it serves a really crucial purpose. When a newspaper or a magazine or maybe an online news reporter wants to write an article about the company.
They need official, correct information.
Exactly. So if they ask the company for materials, the company has to be ready to immediately give the journalist this complete press kit.
I see. It ensures that the reporter has the correct, official information and high-quality visuals right away.
And that makes the company look professional, and it saves everyone a lot of time.
Okay, so it's about quality control. And Casey's job was to put together all the photos for this essential press kit. And she's late.
Precisely, and now she has to explain that to her boss.
Okay, so now we're going to listen to the complete dialogue one time.
And we're going to read it at a normal conversational speed. This is how you would hear it spoken in a real workplace.
And don't worry if you don't catch every single word the first time. That's completely normal.
Just try to focus on the general situation, who is talking, and the overall tone of the conversation.
Listen closely. Casey, how are things going with the photos for the press kit?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. I might need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
You've had over a month to get this finalized. Why are things delayed?
Well, the thing is, we ran into a lot of problems.
I'm not looking for excuses here. I just want to get this finished on time.
I know, and I apologize for the delay, but some things were just beyond my control. I had trouble booking the photographer, and then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him in the photos. And the design team lost all the files, so I had to redo the pictures.
I'm not going to put this off any longer, Casey. I want those photos ASAP.
Okay,
Wow. That was a tense exchange.
definitely. Casey is asking for something difficult, and her boss, he sounds pretty upset and very direct.
The boss is clearly under a lot of pressure. And that dialogue confirmed a few key things for us.
Right. First, Casey needs an extension.
Second, the boss pointed out she's had a long time to do this, over a month.
And third, Casey tried to explain her reasons by saying the problems were, outside of her direct responsibility.
And then the boss finished with that very common, very stressed acronym, ASAP.
As soon as possible.
It's such a clear, impatient instruction.
It is. It just means finish it quickly without any more delay.
Okay, let's take a deep dive now. We're going to look at the specific essential words from that conversation.
This is our language takeaway section.
We're going to go slowly and explain the real-life usage of each term so you can apply it immediately.
And let's start with, I think, the single most important word in this whole situation. Deadline.
Deadline. D-E-A-D-L-I-N-E. Deadline. Can you pronounce that clearly for our listeners?
Of course. Deadline. Listen to the stress. It's on the first part. Deadline.
And it's a noun.
It's a noun, yes. And it refers to the last possible date or time when something has to be finished.
So if you finish your project or your task after this date,
You've failed to meet the requirement. You're late.
it's the ultimate limit. And it's such a common word, both professionally and personally.
Absolutely. Think about school. Your teacher would give you homework and say, the homework is due Friday at 3 p.m.
That date and time, that was your deadline.
Exactly. And in the professional world, every project you manage has to be finished by a set deadline.
And this is just as common outside of work, right? If you have to pay a bill, there's a deadline for payment.
Right. And if you pay after that date, there's often a penalty or a late fee.
Okay, now this is the most important part for English fluency, I think. Let's pay close attention to the specific verbs we use with the noun deadline.
This is key. You must make the deadline or you must reach the deadline.
So the goal is always to make it or reach it. What if you don't?
Well, if you can't do either of those things, we say you missed the deadline.
And that means you're late. Casey's in this situation where she needs to avoid missing the deadline.
Exactly.
Let's try some specific usage examples for our listeners. We'll focus on slow, clear pronunciation.
Okay, example 1. The deadline for the monthly financial report is always the last day of the month.
Example 2. I worked very hard on the project, but because of the problems, I could not make the deadline.
And a third example, describing the necessity of it. If you do not pay your taxes by the deadline, you will receive a large fine.
Very clear. The deadline is that target date you absolutely have to hit. So our next word flows directly from this problem of missing a deadline. Extension.
Extension. E-X-T-E-N-S-I-O-N. Extension. Listen for that soft S sound in the middle.
Okay.
Extension.
And this is what you need if you realize you can't make or reach your deadline.
Right. You need an extension.
So what is an extension exactly?
An extension is extra time that is formally given to you to do something. You're literally asking to move the deadline further into the future.
They're asking for more time.
You are. And this is exactly what Casey needed. She told her boss, I might need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
I noticed the verb she used. You ask for an extension.
Yes, it's a request, not a demand. You have to request it politely and professionally. If you say, I need an extension, it's a little too direct.
It's better to soften the language, which is what Casey did.
Exactly.
Let's look at two simple examples of asking for an extension.
Okay, example 1. This project is due on Thursday, but I realize I need 2 more days. I will ask for an extension and plan to finish it on Monday.
Example 2.
Ah,
Our professor was generous. When we asked, he gave the entire class a 1-week extension on the final essay.
So in both cases, the final date was shifted. This is a crucial professional word for managing your time.
Okay, next, let's discuss the word the boss used to describe the situation.
Delayed.
Delayed.
Yeah.
D-E-L-A-Y-E-D, delayed. This is often used as an adjective, or it's the past tense of the verb to delay.
And it simply means late.
Or happening later than was originally planned, yes.
Casey's boss asked her directly, why are things delayed? He was just asking, why are things late?
Exactly. And when we use this word, we often use it in the passive voice, like the project was delayed, which kind of suggests an external factor caused the lateness.
And we also have to learn the opposite term, which is essential.
On time. O-N-T-I-M-E. The opposite of delayed is on time.
That's right.
We use these words constantly, I think, when we're describing transport or people's arrival or the status of projects.
All the time. Let's give some examples for both terms.
Okay.
Example 1. The meeting started 30 minutes late. It was delayed.
And the opposite would be, the meeting started exactly when it was supposed to. It was on time.
Perfect. Example 2 for travel. We had to wait 2 hours at the airport because our flight was delayed.
And the opposite. I arrived at the airport and immediately boarded the plane because the flight was on time.
So just remember the simple meaning. Delayed means late. On time means punctual or according to the schedule.
Okay, our fourth vocabulary item is a verb phrase. And this one is absolutely crucial for sounding like a natural, fluent English speaker.
Especially in conversations about problems, the phrase is ran into.
Ran into. It's the past tense of the phrasal verb run into. R-U-N-I-N-T-O. Run into.
And in this specific professional context, it means to meet or encounter something, but almost always when describing problems or trouble or unexpected negative situations.
Things that stop your progress.
Right. And Casey used this when she started her explanation. She said, well, the thing is, we ran into a lot of problems.
She encountered problems unexpectedly.
Now, this is a very, very important point for every listener learning English, so please focus closely here.
Okay.
Many students learning English will try to translate this phrase directly from their own native language. They often say something like, I met some problems.
And is that correct in natural professional English?
No, it's not. It's
Right.
grammatically awkward and it's just not natural usage in English. We do not say, I met some problems.
So when we talk about encountering difficulties, we use the verb phrase ran into.
Always.
So if my computer stopped working, instead of saying, I met some trouble with my computer, I should say.
I ran into some trouble with my computer.
Exactly. The difference is subtle, but it's so vital for sounding fluent.
It really is. Let's listen to a few more examples of run into, just to make sure this usage is perfectly clear for you, our listener.
Okay, example 1. We ran into a storm on our drive home.
Meaning, we unexpectedly encountered bad weather while we were driving. The storm was a problem we didn't plan for.
Example 2, talking about consequences. If you are not careful now with your expenses, you are going to run into a lot of financial problems later.
This is a warning. It means you will encounter or face future difficulties if you don't change your behavior now. You will run into the trouble later on.
And example 3, back to the workplace. I cannot finish this report yet because I ran into technical trouble with the printer.
So the printer suddenly presented a technical problem that stopped your work. You ran into that trouble.
So the simple rule to remember is, never say, met some problems.
Always say, I ran into some problems or we ran into some difficulties.
That is a fundamental difference in usage, and I think mastering ran into will immediately make your English sound more natural.
Especially when you're explaining obstacles in the professional world.
Okay, so to quickly recap this language takeaway section, remember deadline,
The final date, and extension,
extra time, and delayed.
which means late. The opposite is on time. And finally, ran into.
To unexpectedly encounter problems.
Fantastic. We've just covered 4 crucial vocabulary items.
So now we're going to listen to the dialogue again. This time, listen specifically for those new words we just explained.
Jordan and I will read the dialogue a little bit slower and much more clearly so you can identify deadline, extension, delayed, and ran into.
Let's apply what you just learned. Listen carefully.
Yeah.
Casey, how are things going with the photos for the press kit?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. I might need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
You've had over a month to get this finalized. Why are things delayed?
Well, the thing is, we ran into a lot of problems.
I'm not looking for excuses here. I just want to get this finished on time.
I know, and I apologize for the delay, but some things were just beyond my control. I had trouble booking the photographer, and then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him in the photos. And the design team lost all the files, so I had to redo the pictures.
I'm not going to put this off any longer, Casey. I want those photos ASAP.
That slower read really allows the key words to stand out in context.
It does. Now we're going to move to our Fluency Builder section. Here, we focus on 3 essential phrases that make your English sound natural in daily life.
Especially when you need to introduce difficult topics or sensitive news.
The first phrase is one that Casey uses right at the beginning of the conversation.
And it's designed to soften the news, to gently introduce the fact that she has a problem and needs that extension.
That phrase is, "I've been meaning to talk to you," or more simply, "I've been meaning to."
I''VE, which is the contraction for I have, followed by BEENMEANINGTO, I've been meaning to.
Pay attention to the pronunciation of that contraction. I've. It's very fast, and it's naturally connected to the word been.
I've been meaning to.
So what exactly does this phrase communicate to the person listening?
It communicates that you've been wanting to do something or thinking about it or maybe planning to do it for a while, but you haven't actually done it yet.
And the unspoken reason is usually that you've been busy or you just haven't had the perfect time.
Right. It introduces an intended action that has been delayed by your schedule.
So in the dialogue, Casey uses it right before dropping the bad news about the extension. She says, "Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that."
She's basically saying, I knew I had to tell you this, and I've been trying to find the right moment, and now is finally the moment.
So it makes the listener feel like she wasn't hiding the information, just waiting for the right opportunity to share it.
It's a wonderful softening phrase. Let's practice combining I've been meaning to with some common actions so you can use it immediately.
Okay, example 1 for a social setting. "I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been very busy all week."
This shows the intention to call was there, but being busy prevented the action. It's a very polite way to apologize for a delay.
Example 2 for sharing important news. "I've been meaning to tell you for 2 days, but John quit the company yesterday."
So you planned to share the news about John, but the opportunity or the right time just didn't come up until now.
And a third example for non-urgent tasks. "I've been meaning to see that new film for a while, but I haven't had the chance to buy the ticket."
Just remember, you use this phrase when the intention is there, but the action is still missing. It helps to explain a small delay in communication or action.
Okay, the second phrase in our Fluency Builder is what Casey uses to justify the delay.
Right. To show her boss that the problem wasn't a result of her own poor work ethic, the phrase is beyond my control.
Beyond my control. BEYONDMYCONTROL. Beyond my control.
And listen for the stress on that last word. Control.
This phrase is incredibly useful in a professional or formal setting because it manages responsibility. What does it clearly communicate?
Well, if something is described as beyond your control, it means you cannot influence it. You can't change it.
There's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Exactly. And crucially, in a professional conversation, it means the fault for the problem is not yours. It was an external factor.
Casey says, "Some things were just beyond my control."
She's telling her boss, the specific reasons for this delay, like people being sick or files being lost, they were not my responsibility and I couldn't have prevented them.
We use this phrase a lot when we're talking about external, unavoidable factors.
We do. Let's look at some clear examples of how to use it.
Example 1 for weather. "The sudden storm is affecting the power grid. That problem is entirely beyond my control."
You can't stop rain or snow, right? So if the weather stops your construction project, you use this phrase to explain the unavoidable delay. It's an accepted reason.
Example 2 for personnel issues. "The fact that Jane was sick for 1 month, meaning I couldn't get her approval, was entirely beyond my control."
If you're relying on a coworker to finish a critical task and their sickness causes a delay, that's an external factor you couldn't change. You are not responsible for your coworker being ill.
And a third example when facing bureaucracy. "The new government regulations changed the rules suddenly. We cannot change the law. That is beyond our control."
This phrase clearly and professionally separates unavoidable circumstances from mistakes that you made yourself.
It's a very powerful way to manage expectations when you're dealing with external challenges.
It is.
Our final fluency phrase is one the boss uses when he expresses his frustration with the long delay. "Put this off."
Put this off. PUTTHISOFF. This is a very common phrasal verb. to put off.
And it means to leave something for later, to plan to do it at another time.
Right. And it often carries a slightly negative feeling, suggesting delay or procrastination, especially when a task is urgent.
The boss says to Casey, "I'm not going to put this off any longer."
What he means is, we must finish this work now. I refuse to postpone this work to tomorrow or next week.
He wants the delay to stop immediately. No more putting off.
Exactly.
So if you postpone something, you're putting it off. This is an extremely useful everyday phrase.
Yes, it is. Let's look at some examples of how we use put off in different situations. We'll focus on both the neutral use for postponement and the negative use for procrastination.
Okay. Example 1, showing procrastination. I have been putting off studying for this final exam for a week, and now it is due tomorrow. I should have started earlier.
This shows an internal delay. You had the time, but you intentionally delayed the work until the very last minute.
Example 2, showing a more neutral postponement. Can we put off our meeting until next week? I'm too busy to prepare today.
This is a common and polite way to ask to postpone a specific event, moving it to a future date because of a scheduling conflict.
In a final example, a very common complaint about someone's character. You always put things off until the last minute, and then you rush to finish them.
Right. So this is used to describe a person who frequently procrastinates. Put off is essential for talking about scheduling changes.
Whether those changes are intentional, professional, or just due to a bad habit.
So we've reviewed and analyzed all the essential language from this scenario.
4 key vocabulary items and 3 crucial fluency phrases.
Now we're going to listen to the dialogue one final time. We'll put all the new words and phrases together so you can deeply understand the conversation flow and context.
And as you listen, try to hear "I've been meaning to," extension, "ran into," "beyond my control," and "put this off."
This final listen is critical. It's your opportunity to hear how native speakers naturally weave these concepts together in a high-pressure conversation.
We'll read slowly and clearly, with emphasis on the key language. Casey, how are things going with the photos for the press kit?
Yeah, I've been needing to talk to you about that. I need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
You've had over a month to get this finalized. Why are things delayed?
Well, the thing is, we ran into a lot of problems.
I'm not looking for excuses here. I just want to get this finished on time.
I know, and I apologize for the delay, but some things were just beyond my control. I had trouble booking the photographer, and then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him in the photos. And the design team lost all the files, so I had to redo the pictures.
I'm not going to put this off any longer, Casey. I want those photos ASAP.
Okay, so let's discuss the application of this entire lesson.
I think the crucial takeaway is the way Casey structured her apology and her explanation.
She gave 3 very specific reasons for her delay.
So why is providing specific, clear reasons so much better than just saying, "I had problems" or "I was busy"?
Well, that is the absolute core lesson for professional communication in English. Vague excuses make a manager feel suspicious.
Like you're hiding something or just being lazy.
Exactly. And Casey avoided that completely. She didn't just give a vague excuse. She listed specific, concrete events that truly were beyond her control.
Let's review her 3 specific professional problems and talk about why they were effective justifications for an extension.
Okay. First, she mentioned trouble booking the photographer. This is a scheduling issue. It requires external coordination with another professional person, often outside the company.
So it shows she was working, but faced an external difficulty.
Right. Second, she explained that Michael was sick for 3 weeks and she needed him in the photos. This is a personnel problem completely outside of her influence.
She can't force Michael to be well. This is a clear case of beyond my control.
Absolutely. And third, the design team lost all the files, which forced her to redo the pictures.
Which is a systems failure caused by another department. So she had to repeat her work because of someone else's mistake.
Which essentially doubled her workload and completely justifies the delay.
So she correctly used the professional formula for asking for an extension. She started with that acknowledgement. "I apologize for the delay."
Which shows respect for the deadline.
Then she immediately followed it up with the professional justification. But some things were just beyond my control.
And by providing these specific details, Casey shows her boss 3 things.
What are they?
1, she was proactive. 2, the delay was due to external factors, not laziness. And 3, she's a responsible employee who understands the details of why the project is late.
She's not just making up a creative excuse.
Exactly.
For our listeners, let's quickly contrast this professional approach with a very famous but completely unprofessional example of an excuse.
I think I know where you're going with this. That would be the common childhood excuse for missing homework.
My dog ate my homework.
That's the one.
And while that excuse is creative, it's a great example of an unacceptable or, highly unbelievable excuse that no professional employer would ever accept.
No. Casey's reasons, sick coworkers, lost files, scheduling conflicts, they show the correct, mature way to present a justifiable delay in the workplace.
They're specific, they're professional, and they directly relate to her inability to make the deadline.
And by using ran into problems and beyond my control, she shifted the focus away from personal failure and toward external obstacles.
That's the power of using these specific English phrases correctly.
That brings us to our final section. Let's quickly review all the core language we focused on today.
We want to make sure you remember and can apply every word and phrase we discussed in this deep dive.
We'll do a rapid-fire review. I'll clearly say the term, the definition, and a simple application sentence so you can hear it all together one last time.
We'll give you the term. First up, press kit.
A group of photos, documents, and information given to reporters. Sentence. Our company press kit includes a CD with the list of our newest products.
Next. I've been meaning to.
To intend or plan to do something, but you haven't done it yet. Sentence. I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been busy.
Extension.
Extra time to do something, moving a deadline later. Sentence. The project is due on Thursday, but I will ask for an extension and finish it on Monday.
Deadline.
The last possible time something must be finished. Sentence. We must make the deadline for the quarterly report by Friday.
Ran into.
To meet or encounter, typically used for problems or trouble. And remember, never say met problems. Sentence. We ran into some serious trouble when the server crashed. Late. Something happened later than planned. Sentence. The flight was severely delayed due to heavy fog.
Beyond my control.
Not able to influence or change something, not your fault. Sentence. The weather caused the power outage. That was entirely beyond my control.
And last one. Put something off.
To plan to do something later, often implying delay or procrastination. Sentence. You need to finish that now. Do not put it off until tomorrow.
That was a perfect recap. We covered some essential vocabulary and fluency phrases for these high-stakes workplace conversations.
And remember, the ultimate goal of Native Ear is not just for you to understand these words when you hear them.
We want you to feel completely comfortable using them in your daily life.
So we encourage you to practice these exact phrases this week, even if it's just speaking them aloud to yourself.
And now we want to hear from you, our valued listeners.
Send us your comments and your questions. Tell us about a time you needed an extension, or maybe share some simple, polite phrases you've used to explain an unexpected delay.
We really do love hearing your stories and your questions.
And please remember that today's lesson was designed as an elementary deep dive. It was perfectly tailored for beginner learners who need clear, slow, detailed instruction.
But if you found this too easy, we also offer intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced lessons on the Native Ear channel.
Right, for those of you who are already more fluent English speakers.
Please visit our website to see all the learning materials we offer. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep practicing these essential phrases
until they become completely natural to you. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into professional English.
Keep practicing, and we hope to hear from you soon. Until next time, it's goodbye from the Native Ear channel.